Happy Monday to my friends, and welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm your coach, your host, David On Point Huffman. Right there, my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. And TJ, I haven't really tried to test out my voice too much today. I spent 4 days screaming at the top of my lungs at a 4-day music festival. So I'm just hoping my voice is going to be able to get through this. But yeah, we're going to talk about the conference. Like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We bring you guys daily content. TJ, happy Monday, my friend. How are you, buddy? How was your weekend?
Not long enough.
It's never long enough. Let me tell you, I was off for this is going to be day 5. It's still not long enough.
It's never long enough. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. Let's talk about the Final Four teams. TJ, let's just real quick, out of curiosity, of these 4 teams that are remaining, who are you most surprised this year?
Obviously, it's Indiana. I mean, say what you want about them, but yeah, they're still like you still don't expect them to be this deep in. Obviously, like some breaks, you catch some breaks along the way. Like they don't beat Milwaukee if Giannis is at least 65.
I mean, if they're missing Giannis and Damian Lillard during that series, I mean, that's probably a different series if ever have. I still think it's got to be Minnesota. I mean, a lot of people wrote off Minnesota at the beginning of the season, except for the guy in the center column right there, Izzy Rivera. Welcome to the show. But a lot of people wrote off Minnesota. You know, they didn't think they'd even get past the Phoenix Suns. They ended up trouncing them, and now they're here in the conference final. They're my pick. I think they're the most surprising team that's remaining. Izzy, how about you?
No, it's Indiana.
Most surprising team that's remaining. Honestly, I'm really surprised at the Dallas Mavericks. Just because, not because I know they got the superstar tandem with Kyrie and Luka, but it was the other guys that really stepped up in that OKC series, like PJ Washington, like Derek Lively, like TJ's guy, who we always raise about. Daniel Gafford had a great game, and we saw it in the first series with New Orleans, right? TJ David, where big what the hell is his name?
Valanciunas.
Big Val, yeah, Big Val, Valanciunas, Jonas Valanciunas gave Chet Holmgren some problems. He just gave OKC some problems, and so when you saw that size with Dallas, and then I'll go back to the last play because I mentioned it. If PJ Washington doesn't have the series that he had, I don't think
You don't even close out on that. You don't even close out.
You don't need. I don't think you need to close out on the period. But the fact that in the back of your head, damn, this guy PJ Washington was torching us all series. It's like I have to close out because he might make this. You know what I'm saying? So like, if he didn't have the series that he had, I think that it might have went 7 games. I think it might have been a different. And I think Shea is right. I think he took accountability and everything. But yeah, the Dallas Mavericks are my surprise pick to make. I didn't think that they could make it to the Western Conference Finals. I thought OKC, as young as they were, I thought they were talented enough. I thought they had, they had the runner up in the MVP. I thought they were talented enough to beat the Mavericks, and especially with Kyrie Irving having the series that he had. He didn't have a good series at all. I mean, he turned it on in Game 6 a little bit, but I mean, for majority of that series, he was not good. So I was surprised at the Dallas Mavericks. And then if I had a runner-up, it'd be Indiana. Honestly, 3 of these 4 teams, Minnesota, Dallas, and Indiana, in my opinion, are all surprising to me. Because, I mean, who would have thought after Game 5 that the Minnesota Timberwolves would be here?
TJ, I kind of cut you off there a little bit. You want to finish your statement about Indiana, why they're your pick for the surprising team?
Yeah, because of the breaks they. All right, first off, they should be embarrassed. I mean, like you're happy you won. You're happy you still got a dog in this fight, but you should be embarrassed that the Knicks, as beat up as they were, took you to 7. You should be utterly embarrassed. Like, they lost guys along the way. They lost 2 key contributors along the way, and you still went 7.
So let's swing into these matchups. Let's talk first in the Western Conference. The 3-seed Minnesota Timberwolves, after they dispatched the Denver Nuggets in 7 games, going up against the 5-seed Dallas Mavericks after they dispatched the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6 games. Timberwolves obviously had a 6-game edge on regular season record. The T-Wolves also won 3 of the 4 regular season matchups. Let's talk about this series. So X factors for both teams, and who do you guys think comes out victorious out of this series in the Western Conference?
Well, they finna put Luka in the NBA Finals. They got.
I don't think so.
They finna put Luka in the NBA Finals. Watch.
And I imagine when you say they, you're talking about the white stripes.
Yeah, watch. It's
Adam Silver.
The they that everybody complains about, the they that swears up and down that they wanted Denver to win that series. The ominous they. No, it's again, it's just like the Denver series. It's gonna come down to officiating. Are you gonna let Minnesota's defenders be physical with Luka and Kyrie? Are you gonna let that happen? Are you gonna let them play, or are you gonna call it? Are you gonna call it tight? What we get? Because the last thing they want is a repeat of the Mark Davis crew in Game 2, especially with the guy. Like, first off, Luka gonna complain the entire. Like, get ready for that.
He's gonna complain no matter what happens. I mean, come on.
Like, yeah,
but he's one of those guys that just works the officials for calls in the future. I mean, it does work. We've seen every superstar who's ever been in the league do the same shit.
Yeah. Man, this series is it's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, they both teams have size. Both teams. The only thing is the perimeter defenders of Minnesota are just much better than.
I think that's like night and day, right?
That's like night and day. It's like nobody on the perimeter on Dallas is.
I mean, Jane McDaniels, Anthony Edwards. Give me those 2 guys over whoever Dallas is rolling out at the guard position defensively.
Well, it's going to be Luka and
Kyrie. Dante Exum is probably their best wing defender, and he plays 10 minutes. I don't even know how much he plays.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
so so
look,
so hold on, is he like David? You do realize PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. are wing defenders, and you just gonna lie and say Dante Exum's their best wing defender?
He is.
Did you watch the series or did you not? Did you watch the games? Or
Yes, I did. But
statements like that make
Like-
it sound like you didn't watch anything at all.
okay.
Because Dante Exum barely played.
Yeah, but when he does play, he's their best defender. I mean, he may not play, but he's the best defender on the team, probably.
So, how, bro, do you not hear the contradiction when he does play? How the
Yeah.
hell you the best how the hell you somebody's best defender and you barely playing?
Because he doesn't give you anything on the other end. I mean, come on.
Then you're not the best. No, knock it off. Knock it off.
All right, okay.
So TJ is right. I think the two, defenders. I mean, like PJ Washington's a tweener, like in between that power forward, small forward kind of range, and then you have Derrick Jones Jr., who's a pretty good defender in his own right. But other than that, when you go to Minnesota's bench, they have great defenders coming off the bench, right? Kyle Anderson's a good defender, got high basketball IQ. Naj Reid is a good defender, high basketball IQ. Mike Conley's a good defender. He's one of the 5 guys that are in the top 20 in defensive PER for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's cliche for me to go Anthony Edwards. I want to go somewhere else for X Factor, but I'm going to go Jaden McDaniels as an X Factor for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, Anthony Edwards is going to be on Kyrie. Jaden McDaniels is going to have the matchup of Luka Doncic. Okay, and how much can Jaden McDaniels, one, stay out of foul trouble, and two, look at TJ. No, and two, can he make Luka a volume scorer in this series? Because Luka has to become a volume scorer in this series. He can't get 20 shots and get 40 points, right? He's got to shoot 30. Yeah, we got to make him shoot 30 shots or shoot 25 shots to get 25, 30 points.
Anyway. Like, no matter how you
it sounds crazy to call this guy an X Factor, but it's Karl Anthony Towns to me. For like when Minnesota is the Minnesota Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns is hitting shots, he's creating offense.
David, that's
actually a good. That's not crazy at all. That's actually a good X Factor.
I think Karl Anthony Towns is their X Factor. I mean, when Karl Anthony Towns he basically carried. I mean, he kept them in that game at least somewhat competitive. That in Game 7. I mean, without Karl Anthony Towns, they may have been down by 30 points in Game 7.
Look, it's 2 guys. It's Karl Anthony Towns, and then the big minutes that Naj Reid played when Karl Anthony Towns went down with 5 fouls. And then how big is the putback dunk that Karl Anthony Towns made?
Huge.
When Denver was making
basically sealed the game.
Sealed the game because they got the missed shot. They were down 5, and Karl Anthony Towns just comes sprinting out the sideline, just makes a putback dunk and puts Minnesota up by 7. So you're not crazy at all to say Karl Anthony Towns is the X Factor.
Also because like I say it all the time, a 20-something-year-old Anthony Edwards just immediately came in. No, check that. A 19-year-old, 20-year-old Anthony Edwards came in and just took your team over. Yeah, that's for 9 years. For like 7 years, it was Karl Anthony Towns' team. They went nowhere. They chased the one guy who was trying to get that dog out of him. They chased him away, and Jimmy Butler. And then here comes Anthony Edwards, and this is mine. You had your turn. This is mine. And there's that's where we at. So I think. See, here we go back to Jimmy Butler thing. I know it's not Jimmy has a bad rap when it comes to being a teammate, in my opinion. When it comes in the NBA,
of course, he does. Yeah, he does.
Guys do not.
He
really rubs guys wrong. And when you're a veteran like that, and you have 2 young guys in Wiggins and Cat. I mean, sometimes you're like, you guys are soft. Well, maybe it takes a young guy. Anthony Edwards is the dog in his own right, but he's a young dog.
all Jimmy was telling them to do was like, hey, y'all are too good to be getting y'all hands held. Why, like, what, like, and that's why the franchise, like, bro, the fact that y'all went to the conference finals on the same day,
20 years. I think it was like 25 years apart.
25 years apart is that's only organization. Like, bro, stop holding their hands. Mark Cuban drafted Luka. He ain't. Oh, hey, everybody, hey, don't say nothing bad about Luka. Be nice to Luka. It's important. Like, no, hit the ground running. Let's go. Let's go. Seriously. And
But so the real question is, who do you think wins this series?
Well, X factor for me for Dallas is going to be Kyrie Irving.
It's
I know how
Kyrie
cliche that sounds, but he had a bad series the last series. If Kyrie plays remotely like as good as he played in the first series that he had against the Clippers, I think the Dallas Mavericks have a chance. But I just think Minnesota's just too good defensively for this team, man. I just think they're gonna turn Kyrie. They got too much length.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. They're the best defensive team.
I'm not finna say like the reason I said it is because everybody wrote Denver off after 2 games. They dismantled Denver those 2 games, and Denver walked them down. Right.
And then Minnesota won. So what is it?
But they.
I mean, eventually, yeah. We came on this podcast after game 2, and we were all like,
"It was over.
We're not gonna get a game."
Y'all said it was over.
Yeah.
So y'all said it was over, correct? Wait, Izzy, you said 5.
I said a sweep.
You said sweep. I said 5. I mean,
so you're talking about something, but and Minnesota eventually won. Like, yeah, of course. But the fact that we went from like people went from it's going to get swept to Anthony Edwards needs more help to
look.
What,
first
what
of all,
saying
not
now.
only
Come
did
on,
they
man.
win, my bad, TJ, but not only did they win, they were down 20 in the second half and still won.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that.
Pretty decently.
Here's the thing. They didn't do anything
special. Quarters, so
they didn't do anything special to come back and win. They didn't do anything. Denver shot 8 for 33 from 3. When you're up 20,
that's their fault. That's their fault. Like Luther Bedford say from Coach of Marshall, rest in peace, Luther Bedford. From Hoop Dreams. If you got the open shots, you gotta make the open shots. I can't make them for you. Okay, it's not the Denver, it's not the Minnesota Timberwolves fault.
Where did I say that it was?
The Nuggets was missing their shots.
Where did I say that it was?
For missing their shots.
Where did I say that? I didn't say it was Minnesota's fault. That's why I'm saying that's why Denver lost. Instead of attacking the basket steadily up 20, you're settling for threes, and they weren't. Mike Malone should have called a timeout and say, "Hey, the next MF that shoot the 3 and miss, you're sitting next to me. I don't care who it is."
Right. So,
with that being said,
I got Minnesota.
Of course you do.
6.
Of course you do.
I got Minnesota in 6 because I gotta look good, man. I said, look.
He's going down. He's going down with the ship. Leave him alone.
The first month of the season. What did I say? The first month of the season, I got receipts. I came on Facebook and said
he's got receipts.
Because people thought no, David. People on Facebook and shit were tearing me up saying I'm a bandwagon.
I saw.
No,
this is what's annoying. This is what's not
first
too.
month of the
I'm not
season,
calling
I said
you.
Minnesota was going to be a championship contender team.
This is what's annoying. I'm not calling you annoying, Izzy, but like what people are more happy that Denver lost than that Minnesota won. And it's just like, where is this newfound hatred for Jokic and the crew coming from?
Well, I mean, it's anyone that's it's literally a hate that's like this. That's always like it's been like this for a long time.
Not really though. Like some people, like some teams, some fan bases like Laker fans. I get it because y'all just think the sun shining out y'all asses. When the Lakers
are mad because of what Coach Malone was doing last season. Let's just say it like
okay,
they lost 2 years in a row.
And I think a lot of the Nugget hate has to do with the fact that like their run to the title last year, wasn't exactly like a gauntlet. Like they beat.
That's their fault. Like
no, for sure not.
You play who's in front of you.
Yeah. But that's the argument people have. With that being said, I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks. I think star power wins out here. I think Luka and Kyrie Irving. I think they both have fantastic series. Give me Mavericks at 6.
Mavericks in 7 if they split the first 2.
So if they lose, what do they get swept and then it's over?
See why you making think they didn't swept? No, they probably gonna lose in 6. They probably gonna split. They probably gonna split at home. They probably gonna split. It's probably gonna be 2-2 going into Game 5, and then Minnesota probably close out in 6.
Swinging into the Eastern Conference, we got the 1 seed Boston Celtics after they dispatched the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. Or is it 6? And the Indiana Pacers obviously beat the New York Knickerbockers in 7 games. The Celtics had 18 more wins, if that math is correct, which it may not be. 17 more wins, sorry. Celtics won 3 of 2 games in the regular season. I'm not really sure why they played 5 times. I think that probably has in-season tournament stuff, but don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure. X factors for both teams. Let's talk about this series in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics expected to be here. Indiana, a little bit of a surprise. Although they have gotten, as TJ mentioned, they have gotten a lot of injury help along the way. And they're going to get a little bit of benefit here. Kristaps Porzingis probably not going to play at least game 1 tomorrow.
Didn't Indiana beat the Celtics in the in-season tournament game too as well?
I
mean, yeah, I think that's where the 5th game comes in. But
whoopty do.
No, because I see 3-2 regular season games, and I know the in-season.
Yeah, I think they played each other in the in-season.
Did you factor the in-season tournament games into the 3 and 2 as well?
Yes, I did. Okay. Well, I mean, I pulled this off a website, so it says Boston wins 3-2 and it has all the games. But normally, teams that are not in the same division only play four times, or if they're so that 5th game has to come from somewhere else.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, man, look, well, God. It depends, man. You know, this series is man, they really need Kristaps Porzingis in this series. I see a scenario where the Indiana Pacers can possibly win this series. No, TJ, no, let's hear me out. If Kristaps Porzingis does not play or is not healthy for this series, and I know it's looking more towards he's coming back for this series. I mean, the series they play tomorrow, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
It's you got Pascal, you got Miles Turner, you got Jackson coming off the bench. They got more size in that side than Boston does. Al Horford,
so Porzingis is expected to miss the first 2 games of the conference final, and then he may come back for game 3. So
that can be a little bit of an issue. The only thing is just like, man, and Minnesota just comes at you in waves. Now, Boston's bench, I'm going to love seeing the matchups, right? TJ McConnell versus Pacific Peyton Pritchard. I'm going to love that matchup. That's going to be box. I'm going to love that. If I'm
box office.
I know. I was going to thank you. I'm glad I didn't trip up and say box office. But I'm going to love that matchup. They're coming off the bench.
No, it could be hard time.
It could be box office. It's gonna be box office.
It's a hell of a matchup, though. It's a hell of a matchup when they come off the bench.
You got 2 scrappy,
annoying defenders.
That annoy the hell out of you. Yeah.
The one thing is that it's just too much star power for the Boston Celtics between the 2 forwards, your superstars, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then you add in Derek White, and then you add in, they add in Drew Holiday. I mean, they don't rely on him to score, but he's a big part of what they do on defense. And if he needs to go and make a shot, he can make a shot. I can see a scenario though where the Pacers without Kristaps Porzingis go up 2-0, or split in Boston, go back home, win a game. I could see the series going 7. And the thing is that Indiana plays that up and down style. They can keep up with the Boston Celtics. They can keep up with them. They come in droves. They keep so much pressure on you. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like, damn, we think we got these guys down, but they just keep coming back. And they keep coming back. And when they're up, they just keep putting the foot on your neck. And I love the fact that we sat here game 1 of the last series, and everybody in the media, including us too, we chastised the hell out of Tyrese Halliburton for only taking how many shots? 6?
6. Yeah, 6.
After that
he's been
aggressive. He he looked like the Tyrese Halliburton in the first month of the season. And if he can be that in this series, I give Indiana a little bit of some leeway in terms of without Kristaps Porzingis. I give him a little bit of a chance.
I also think I think there's also that factor, the fact that like Boston was like meant to like people penciled in Boston before the season started to be in this position. Indiana's kind of playing with like that house money mentality, right? Nobody thought you'd be here, even when like you were like you win the one when you're like lost in the in-season tournament finals. So people are like, okay, well, whatever. And when you matched up against Milwaukee, nobody thought you'd win that series. When you matched up against the Knicks, nobody thought you could win that series. And I also think that like the Celtics, they have not really been tested much at all this playoffs. I'm pulling this off NBA.com, right? So they played 10 playoff games, right? They've had 79 seconds of clutch time. That's where the score is within 5 points in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. 79 seconds in 10 playoff games. Like, and all of that came in one game. In Game 4 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pacers had 2 of the 4 of those games, winning 2 of them.
And they probably
also we got to factor in the coaches too. Who has the bigger coaching edge?
Give me Carlisle. He's got a title.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah." Well, Joe Mazzulla gets a bad rap for not, for doing the Phil Jackson thing where he tries to make his guys figure it out, on the fly, and he doesn't call a lot of timeouts. Joe Mazzulla gets a bad rap for that.
He won 60
timeouts.
He won 64 games doing that. So hey, it's working.
I know.
So like here's the thing. If you're the Boston, first things first, Boston, y'all are the San Francisco 49ers of the NBA. Think about the comparison. You're the 49ers of the NBA. Y'all have these crazy talented teams year in and year out, and you somehow can't get the deal done.
Better get it done this year.
That's fucking infuriating. And Izzy, under your breath, you goddamn right. Say it with your chest. Y'all better get that shit done this year.
Yeah. I mean, the landscape.
Otherwise, me and DJ talked about it. If they don't get it done this year, it's gonna be to blow it up.
There's gonna be some furniture moving in that month. Like,
I think we'll have that real conversation about like, can we win with our 2 best players playing basically the same position?
Mm-hmm. Now, Jaylen Brown got his 300 M's. He got that contract. Y'all really want to have over 600, damn near $700 million tied up?
I mean, Jason Tatum's contract is going to be even higher than whatever Jaylen Brown signed. It's going to be.
So, y'all want to have a combined damn near $700 million tied up in the 2 players, and the best I can expect to you is maybe a trip to the NBA Finals.
I mean, but like any other team in the NBA would take that every day and twice on Sunday. I mean, we got these 2 guys, and like we're probably going to go to the finals or into the Eastern. I know this is Boston, where they hang the rafters. They got 17 ships and stuff. But
I'm not saying just because it's Boston. Like you say, any team would take that. Maybe a team that maybe like the Hornets.
Man, I'm a fucking Bulls fan. I'll take that shit. Like, give me play some meaningful basketball in fucking May. I will go for it. Let's go. For real.
You signed Jason Tatum for $300 million?
Yeah.
Because because eventually,
and I'm gonna need Alec Burks too on the Bulls too next year.
No, because eventually it's like I don't care. I don't care that you made it to the conference finals. I don't care. Because like you can say that all you want, like, oh, I'll take that. Outside looking in.
Yeah. I mean, I know
all those like every team you just if they had if any of the teams like all 30 teams if they had stretches like that, hey, you go to 6 Eastern Conference Finals in 8 years or whatever, and you ain't got no banners to show for it. Come on now.
Yeah.
But you mean we gonna be happy just because like hey. We've been to the conference finals 6 times in 8 years, and we're happy about it. No, eventually you gotta get the deal done. You gotta close.
Let's talk about final results here on the series. Who do you guys think? How many games? Who do you think wins here?
Oh, Boston in 5. In 5. The N5 tour continues for the Celtics. In 5.
I'm gonna go Boston in 7. I'm gonna go Boston.
Oh my
in 7
God, you
because-
have too much faith right now.
7.
7. Yeah, I'm gonna go Boston in 7, man. I'm telling you, that Kristaps Porzingis injury is gonna be big, man. Indiana might be up 2-0 going into the in Indiana.
Won't.
Indiana may go
They
up 2-0 in Indiana. I'm just saying. Hey, look, hold on. I like the Boston Celtics. I picked them to win the NBA championship. I picked them to win it, but I think that not having Kristaps Porzingis for 2-3 games in this series is going to be monumental for them.
The only time them not having KP is gonna be a factor is the next round.
It wasn't going to be a factor. Wait, who they played last? Last series was against
Cleveland.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, and come on, bro. No, Jared Allen.
The Cavs got one game.
Evan Mobley was destroying them.
They destroyed them. They got one game. They got one game.
Evan Mobley was having double-digit rebounds that whole season.
They got one game. One game
between Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. Come on, bro.
How much?
Al Horford? Al Horford on Miles Turner? Who you like Al Horford on Miles Turner? Tell me, be honest.
Al Horford.
First off, you like Al Horford on Miles Turner? You like that matchup? You like that matchup?
I like Kirk Cousins. I like that.
Hold on. Miles Turner was letting Josh Hart out rebound him. I don't want to hear a word about Miles Turner.
Come on, brother.
Miles Turner let everybody. Okay, Miles Turner let Isaiah Hartenstein and Precious Achua give him the flux. Miles Turner was the best.
And we're talking about 40-year-old Al Horford.
Miles Turner was the best big in that series last against the Knicks, and Miles, you barely heard anything from Miles Turner. The fact that Miles Turner didn't have a 30-30 against them tells me everything I need to know about Miles Turner.
No, that's the point. That's the point.
Thank you.
I don't think he's ever put up a 30-30. He put up 30 points, 30 rebounds. That's my point. He ain't working like that.
Do you think rust, like the rust at all, will be rest, like all that stuff? Boston hasn't played since Wednesday.
No.
Boston is 7, like I said. Indiana's gonna give them a tough.
I'm taking Boston 5. I agree with TJ. I think if we come back here next week and we're both wrong, I will graciously admit that I got it wrong. But I'm going Boston.
I'm worried, man. I am worried about them not having Kristaps Porzingis for the first 2 games. Yes, I can be worried about that because across the board, I like the pace that Indiana's gonna play. That's going to be able to keep up. They're going to say, look, you are the team that takes and makes the most 3-pointers. All right, now against us, let's see what happens. We're going to go into a track meet to see who's the fastest to score. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay. So my question now is, you say Rick Carlisle like coaching. Okay, Rick Carlisle kept Andrew Nembhard on Jalen Brunson, and his ass was getting abused the entire time. So if barely 6 foot Jalen Brunson was cooking their ass like that, what is Jason Tatum gonna do?
What like too many threes sometimes?
That ass like
he better be taking it to the cup. Better be taking it to the cup every time because he shoots fucking horrible from 3-point land.
And then they tried Aaron Nesmith, and eventually Brunson figured that out. And again,
Jason Tatum doesn't have the offensive game like Jalen Brunson though. Jalen Brunson is a way better offensive player in my opinion.
I mean, he's a craftier player. I mean,
I think craftier means better in my opinion. He's got a million different ways he can get that ball in the basket.
Because Brunson had to we act like Brunson's not
because he knows how to.
Like because he had to. Like the had to.
He knows how to. I mean, I don't know how many counter moves Jason Tatum. I don't think Jason Tatum has as many counter moves in the mid range that Brunson has. in my opinion.
My X factor is Miles Turner. Miles Turner cannot have a 9 and 8 for the Pacers. Like he can't finish the game with 9 points and 8 rebounds, bruh. I need 20 and 15. Like you gotta I have to know the presence.
Well, he's got to get 30 and 30 apparently to win the game. So
the fact that he doesn't have a 30-30 in his career once again.
You guys are downplaying how good Isaiah Harden. No, the fact you know what kind of blows me is the fact that TJ just downplayed when he said he let fucking Isaiah Hartenstein, bro. Like Isaiah Hartenstein
Isaiah Hartenstein is about to make $20 million a year next year.
He is a solid ass player.
He's about to get paid. He's about to get paid.
And I guarantee you, even if you was to poll 30 GMs, who would you rather have between Hardenstein and Miles Turner? How many would say Miles Turner? Majority.
All 30.
Oh, thank you.
All 30 would say Miles Turner.
All 30.
Because Miles Turner can shoot that damn 3 ball. That is why.
But anyways, yeah, this has been our conference finals preview. I can speak. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm David Huppin, Israel Vera, TJ Hopkins. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
Indiana, bring the heat, baby.
We will be back. We will be back here on Thursday where we're breaking down the UFL. Probably schedule a couple shows here and there between that. But keep an eye for that content. You guys all have a good weekend and stay safe out there. Peace out, brothers.